Across the ruins of Europe, church bells rang, rifles fired into the air, and banners proclaimed a day of liberation. Yet, for a group of young German women, the surrender meant not freedom, but captivity. Their uniforms were tattered remnants of the collapsing Reich, boots cracked, hair unwashed, faces still youthful beneath layers of soot and fatigue. And though barely 20, they had been secretaries, typists, radio operators, nurses, cogs, in a military machine that devoured their country and now abandoned them to the unknown, herded onto trains that rumbled through charred towns, skeletal factories, and churches stripped of steeples, past children thin as paper waving from embankments, while whispers of fear of American cruelty hung like smoke, each woman clutching rosaries, ration tins, or nothing at all, bracing for vengeance, yet finding instead order, paperwork, and a strange bureaucracy, as they were counted, tagged, and loaded onto ships bound for America, crossing the Atlantic in steel holds filled with thick air, pale bread, slabs of meat, and steaming mugs of coffee that brought tears to eyes unused to nourishment. And as the skyline of New York rose, in different crowds watching, they felt dread mingled with disbelief. For the enemy they had imagined as wolves now offered soap, showers, clean garments, and food in abundance, and in the camp barracks across Georgia, Louisiana, and beyond, they lived under the quiet civility of guards who spoke gently, allowed work in kitchens, fields, and laundries, and handed out small wages redeemable for chocolate, cigarettes, and even lipstick. While letters from bombed-out Germany brought shame and grief, the juxtaposition of abundance and ruin, chipping away at propaganda, loyalty, and hate. And as Anna, a former secretary from Munich, wrote in her diary, each bar of soap, each bite of bread, each glimpse of orderly American streets forced them to reconcile that the enemy could be humane, that survival could bring gratitude, that their own nation had betrayed them, and that hatred was easier than dignity. Yet every day, in the sunlit fields, bustling towns, and warm barracks under the American sky, slowly reshaped them, leaving them caught between fear of returning to rubble and the unsettling realization that the world and their understanding of humanity was far more complex than the Reich had allowed them to believe, until the final morning came when the transport to Germany awaited. And as Anna stepped forward, clutching her diary, the weight of the journey crystallized. They had come expecting to be broken, yet what had transformed them was not punishment, but the quiet, relentless mercy of those they had been taught to hate. And the true conflict now resided within, in hearts, learning that to be treated with dignity by an enemy was both the cruelest and most profound revelation of all. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.